stability, we've had predictability. We've also been conservative. So as Indian successive finance ministers, we've always maintained our debt in order. Relative to global debt, we're still 50% of GDP as debt. So we are not, like the world norm is now 100%. So we've had, and I think that we've also in the private sector, and what excites me the most is the startup industry. When I interact with startups and we see young 28, 30-year-olds starting up companies, and I can clearly see, right, 100 new Reliances in terms of where, and the aspiration, the confidence that they have. And finally, it is the confidence that you see. Fortunately, we now operate across the length and breadth of India. So it's not only the confidence in forums like this, but when you see the confidence in young people going to school and colleges, wanting, and in parents today, believing that their tomorrow is better than today, right? And that is a big, big change in India, that all of us, this is our baby boomer generation. This is the Indian generation that believes that they'll make a better tomorrow than today. And that's the confidence that we see as a result of all of this. And I don't want to rule out, like when everybody, we've also had, right, at least I think a sustained 15, 20 years of great law and order, right? And that is a prerequisite to continuous economic growth, social harmony. All of these things matter in terms of that. And hopefully, like we are now setting the foundation for many, many decades. The world sees that. And that is why, you know, even like after the budget, we had the European treaty, we had, fortunately, the US. So the world is looking at us. We have, like, and we at Reliance get at least every month 3 or 4 global majors. We cannot say yes to everybody for partnerships in terms of saying we want to come to India and can we work together. So the world is taking notice of India. It's a tree laden with abundant fruit, and you know, I've always believed that for profit and for prosperity, nobody needs an invitation, and that is why we are attracting all the people, and I think this is very, very sustainable over the coming decades. Like
sustainable for the coming decades, and 100 more Reliances, in your words, from the startup ecosystem. If that is, comes true and that bears fruit, it'll be a very, very different economy, as you point out, Mr. Ambani. But you know, I want to understand from you, since we're talking about Jio Blackrock, we're talking about the opportunity for India's financial sector. A lot of people are asking, is the ambition and the aspiration to disrupt this business just as you did with telecom, Mr. Ambani?
Well, our ambition and aspiration starts with, you know, what I admire about Larry. Right? And Larry is not only, right, the result-oriented CEO of US top global multinational, right? But I think that he has a very compassionate and passionate heart, right? When he told me that, look, like at the end of the day, purpose of BlackRock is not to just make short-term results or not even to make returns, right, for my investors and my shareholders. Right? If I cannot put this money to work, first for the betterment of society, and as a byproduct, I give my investors and shareholders returns, then I would have done my job. And that is the Reliance philosophy too. We've always believed that our minds match. And the purpose of Jio Blackrock, right? And I think that disruption is fashionable, but the opportunity that we see is that Indians have really been savers, right? Right from, if you look at our history, we have saved consistently over the last 5-6 decades. What has happened is that some of this saving has not been productive. If you see just the last year, right? We as India imported $60 billion worth of gold, and we imported 10 to 15 billion dollars worth of silver. And all of this not for industrial use, but really for domestic savings in terms of, now this is unproductive. If we can actually convince the Indian saver that if one invests in the capital markets in a safe, transparent and consistent way, there are returns. And these returns we heard from all the three panelists compound. And for us at Jio Blackrock, the opportunity is to encourage Indians to save, but to make sure that we give them the options to convert those savings into earnings and hopefully compound their earnings so that they not only work for themselves, but they also work for the Indian economy. And that propels the Indian economy to grow in terms of what we want to do. And then we all grow together. So yes, if you...
Please join